Ladies and gentlemen, anything to do for Africa, we deserve to do it, we must do it. When we have the opportunity to do it, we must do it. Across the continent of Africa, whatever troubles we have, we must wake up and see how best we can talk. And if we don't talk, we might not talk. If we talk, we might find a solution. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Africa today is faced with a huge, doubting task of making sure that it gets to the grip and gets the grip of its democracy. Since 1960, in the 60s, when they got independence, the first country got independence in 1957, Africa has been gripped with very many changes: electoral changes, military changes, dictatorship, assassinations. All these have taken place on this continent of Africa. But on such a day, when we see Africa dismembered because of coups that we should have prevented, then we look back at military coups returning to Africa to the 1960s. Are they returning Africa to the 1960s? Question mark. Sudan. What went wrong in Sudan? I want to thank Mr. Kunai and others and hundreds of you who sent me several messages asking me to do a platform, a Twitter space today to open up. We talk about Sudan. Ladies and gentlemen, as you have seen over the news, Sudan is in the danger of falling to a pariah state if we don't start talking about what went wrong. What has gone wrong in Sudan? First of all, I give the guidelines. I give the guidelines in the sense that we are not here to defend. Some of us are friends. I will shock you that I'm a friend of both generals. I knew General Hamid Dagla in 1994. And I will not tell you the details, but I knew him in 1994. I've been a frequent visitor in Sudan, Khartoum, Juba, Darfur, Elifasia, Nyali, yeah, all Nyala, all those places I've been a frequent visitor. We went with Thabo Mbeki to find peace in Darfur. I met General Douglas several times. 1994, before Darfur could explode, I had known him when he was a young officer. Equally, General Ali Al Bah is my friend. I've told them, I've written to them about 3 to 4 letters before this coup. And anybody who would like to have the glimpse of my letters can go to my website. In 2021, I warned the international community that South Sudan was going to go into ashes because of one simple thing. I wrote to the Secretary General of the United Nations Security Council of the United Nations and to the United Nations Security Council itself, copying the letters which they said they cannot get. They got them because acknowledgement was received. I have a heap of acknowledgement from the Secretary General's office that they received the copy and they passed over to the Secretary General. As you know, I am also well known in the Secretary General's office. Some of the people who work there, we have met in Serbia, in Yugoslavia, in Northern Ireland, when we were doing the peace process in Zimbabwe. Yes, in South Sudan, in Juba, in Khartoum itself. Guterres and Matsanga, we used to be in Khartoum. We used to meet in Khartoum years back. And he knows when I write something, it is not a matter of writing. It's real. I warn the international community that there is something wrong going on in Sudan. There's something wrong going on in North Africa, in the Sahara region, all the way from the Atlantic to the Red Sea. Something is not tying up. Something going on wrong in the Horn of Africa. In the Horn of Africa, we have mercenaries, we have countries that have taken us hostage. We have people who buy, who sell the uniforms. Al-Shabaab comes to kill us in Kenya, Uganda, and other places with uniforms of a country that we know that their army wears that uniform. Leo hakuna kupembeleshana hapa. We are not going to keep quiet. We rather die, but we should talk the truth. The Middle East politics is coming to our continent, destroying our continent. The Gulf state politics, the Gulf state politics, and let African leaders hear me. I have no regrets. What did you do? Well, you have children. I also have children. You produced the children. I also have produced the children. Yes, we have bad politics coming from the Gulf states of Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, that is exporting dangerous politics to our continent. And there must be an African to stand up and say, enough, he's enough. Our brothers are dying, our continent is bleeding, and we are here. We have now the instruments to make sure we talk. You will not silence us. You can have your countries, but we shall have the space here. And we are going to make sure if you touch us, very many people will talk. That is how we are going to defeat and get Africa organized. Most of the leaders in Africa are now writing to ICC. You are very stupid people. I'm sorry, and I've called it. Can I repeat that word? You are very stupid people. Those leaders writing to ICC, you are very stupid. You have never read law. You have nothing in your heads. You have not read law. And I repeat, you have not read law. Any lawyer in any country in Africa writing to ICC when 10 people or 5 people have died in his country, he doesn't know the charter of ICC. I want to teach them today for free and let them pay for my services. ICC is a court of complementarity. Can you repeat the word? The court of complementarity.